ball game.
Good evening, Jesuit Crusader sports fans. I'm Scott Powers here with Kenny Dice, and we are coming to you live from Cronin Field on the campus of Jesuit High School. And do we have a high school football game for you tonight? We have our own Jesuit Crusaders against the Central Catholic Rams. The Crusaders come into tonight's game with a disappointing start to the season, losing to Skyview last weekend on the road, and the Central Catholic Rams taking care of business last week. And so when we look at this matchup tonight, we're looking at two very different teams that faced each other last season, where it was a one-possession game. The Crusaders looking for their first win, and the Rams looking to keep the momentum going. And I'm going to turn now to my partner here, Kenny Dice. Kenny, tell us a little bit about those games last week for the Crusaders first.
Yeah, as you said, Jesuit had a tough 28 loss against Skyview last week, and one of the biggest shocks from the fans of Jesuit is that we actually saw two quarterbacks splitting drives. Coach Potter has two great talents at the quarterback position, and he's really just experimenting at the beginning of the year, seeing who he likes more on the field and who he can trust to make those big plays at the end of the game. One of the biggest drawbacks for the Crusaders throughout the game was their offensive line. Four offensive line graduated last year, and they are welcoming 4 new starters to the line this year. Multiple sacks happened, and really it's just a growing opportunity for the linemen. On a positive note, the defensive momentum really kept them in the game, and they held Skyview to only 7 points in the last 3 quarters of the game and caused 2 fumbles.
Right, so if we look at that game, Kenny, and when we think about, talking to one of the coaches for the Crusaders, they were talking about, when you look at a game, you look at the score, and you think, that was not typical Crusader football. But to your point, they caused Skyview, a very good football team, to make some mistakes.
There were flashes of excellence for sure on the defensive side of the field.
And so when we think about tonight's game, if the Crusaders could put some of that together, force some mistakes by the Rams, particularly on that defense, maybe get some defensive points.
For sure.
So let's talk a little bit about this Central Catholic team. They're coming in, and they got a quarterback.
They sure do. Senior Crew Newman, 2-time Mount Hood Conference Player of the Year. In his first game, he completed 18 of 22 passes for over 350 yards and 5 touchdowns. This guy's really the real deal.
And, when you look at this Central Catholic team, they're stocked with a lot of people with a lot of experience. In contrast to that Crusader line, this Central team is returning a lot of people who are maybe going to be playing next year on Saturday.
Oh yeah, a lot of college commits for the Rams. Multiple Pac-12 offers are being spread out throughout the Ram family, and yes, we can definitely expect to see them on national television next year in some different jersey colors.
But if I know the Crusaders, and I've been around Crusader football for a long time, I think the Crusader coaches like being the underdog in a game like this.
Oh, for sure.
You come in a little hungry. Your team's a little hungry. Mm-hmm. There's an opportunity here for the Crusaders to mature quickly in week 2 here.
Oh yeah. I think Jesuit might not have all the commits that the Central Catholic Rams do, but what they do have is tradition. And I think Coach Ken Potter has been here since 1987. Only 7 wins away from Oregon all-time wins, and I think that tradition really shows when looking at their offense and defense.
So as we kind of get ready here for the kickoff, and Kenny, if you could identify, for the Crusaders, what do you think are the keys here, particularly in this first quarter out of the gate? What do you think they need to do here?
Yeah, I really think Jesuit's defense needs to continue to come together tonight to swarm a deep and talented Central offensive squad. I think also this young Jesuit offensive line really needs to step up big this game. Central Catholic's got some really great defensive linemen, but I really do think it's possible. Even though they're young, I think they have a lot of heart and a lot of great chemistry, which I think will take them a long way tonight.
And I think for this, for the Central team, they're coming in. They probably know that the Crusaders maybe have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder here, something to prove. So I think they have to be aware of that and maybe not give Crusaders a sense that they're in the game.
I think for Jesuit, too, this is almost a revenge game. Losing by 3 points last year, I think they're coming in hungry, ready to prove really what happened last year and why they think they're different this year.
And we're right here for kickoff, and the Rams are kicking off to the Crusaders, and it looks like Grant Valley is back deep for the Crusaders. And he's going to receive it right around the 4-yard line. Oh, and it looks like he might get an edge there.
He's got a little bit of room.
And I think that's the start the Crusaders were looking for. Just out of bounds there at about the 45, and Jacob Hutchinson coming out in the field leading the Crusaders. What do we know about Jacob, Kenny?
Jacob Hutchinson's a great two-sport athlete. He's actually committed to the University of Denver for lacrosse. And I think that two-sport athlete mentality really shows on the field, and he could possibly be the best athlete on the field tonight. So I'm excited to see what he does in the pocket tonight and if he can make a difference for the Crusaders.
And it looks like Grant Valley might have stepped out at the 40, so they moved it back 5 there.
Good return nonetheless.
And the Crusaders line up in the I formation. A handoff to Lonnie Burt right up the middle. And I think we're going to be calling Lonnie Burt's number a lot tonight.
Oh yeah, great power back.
And, talking to, Lonnie Burt didn't get a lot of touches last year, with Peyton Roth in the backfield for the Crusaders, but this is really an opportunity for him this year.
Oh yeah, he's ready to prove himself. And sophomore fullback Rowan Lewis could possibly be the youngest guy on the team right now for the Crusaders.
And it looks like Trainer clearly in at quarterback right out of the gate.
As we talked about before, Jesuit splitting some reps, even drives with quarterbacks. Just testing the waters a little bit with both talents. See what Trainer can do here.
And the quarterback, Trainer Cleveland, keeping it there for a gain about 2 or 3 yards. It's going to be 3rd and probably a long 4 for the Crusaders here, or 3, 3rd and 3, maybe a little long 4 there. And
let's see what Coach Potter pulls out of the playbook here.
And this is typically 4-down territory for the Crusaders when they're at midfield.
Oh, yeah. And one of the upsides of Jesuit is they have a really strong leg for their kicker. Caden Butcher, saw him warming up from the 45-yard line before the game. So the second we get past that 50, I think a lot of things are possible for 3 points.
And Trainer Cleveland leading the Crusaders here on 3rd down, and he's going to keep it again. Quarterback keeping, he gets right through. And the Crusaders right there have their 1st down.
I think when comparing Trainer Cleveland's game to Jacob Hutchinson, I think you see more of a pro-style quarterback from Trainer, really being able to run the ball as well as pass the ball. But when Jacob Hutchinson lets that ball fly, it's really unmatched when it comes to the state of Oregon.
Yeah, so that dual threat, and for the Crusaders, as far as quarterbacks, they haven't had that type of quarterback, in recent years. So John Andreas, the offensive coordinator, making use of that, and Jacob standing right close to him as he calls the plays, and I think we'll see a lot of both quarterbacks tonight.
Another run from Trainer.
And I think what the Crusaders are trying to do here tonight is making them think that, with Trainer in there, they spread the field a little bit more, rather than that power eye. We're seeing the offensive line kind of receivers wide, so they have to cover that.
And typically Jesuit isn't a huge passing offense, so I'm excited to see what plays they have up their sleeve tonight when it comes to airing the ball out.
And so the Crusaders have a 2nd and 4 here. Ball on the 28-yard line. And that's Jacob Hutchinson back in there. A quick pass out to Jace Burton there. And that is a 1st down for the Crusaders. And as you're saying, we are well within the range of Caden Butcher here.
Yeah, you can see him warming up on the sideline there.
And Trainer Cleveland coming out, taking over for quarterback.
Only 1 touch for Lonnie Burt thus far. See if he gets the ball here. Another power.
The Crusaders line, we've seen that set a few times with 3 receivers out wide, and then Trainer kind of running to the weak side, so to speak.
Yeah, that trips left is almost serving as a decoy for the Crusaders, trying to draw the Rams to the right there and free up some room for the quarterback.
And the Crusaders back in the power I here with, it looks like Rowan Lewis there as the fullback. Good strong run there from Lonnie Burt, picking up 7 yards on the carry, and we're going to have 3rd down and a
3rd and 5 for the Crusaders on the Rams 15-yard line.
3rd and 5. Grant Valley checking back in.
Grant Valley, only a junior, and been on varsity for 2 years now, really making an impact on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball.
One of many two-way players for the Crusaders out there.
Two-way and two-sport. Also a really great track star. I'm excited to see what he does on the track next year.
Nice catch there by Jace Burton. Hangs on, and that's going to be another 1st down for the Crusaders. And we're going to be 1st and goal from the 6.
Here comes Hutchinson.
And it looks like we're going to have Hutchinson and Trainer on the field at the same time. Hutchinson there going out wide as a receiver.
See if Coach Potter's reaching into the bag of tricks here.
Ooh, and Lonnie Burt just about to the 1-yard line, maybe the 2, call it the 2.5. They're saying 30. But
this part of the field's where Lonnie Burt shines most, being one of those power backs, just willing to put his head down and run through the defense. I think these short runs into the end zone is just what he asks for.
Hutchinson going out wide again. Trainer Cleveland there under center. Ooh, and the Rams were waiting for that. And it's going to be 3rd, and looks like the Crusaders lost 2 on that. It's going to be 3rd and 5. And again, it would be interesting, the Crusaders, would this be 4-down territory for them?
Coming out in their trip set.
Cleveland in the shotgun with Burt to his left. There it is, touchdown, Jesuit Crusaders.
Number 4, Matt Eilers.
Matt Eilers for the score. The score, Jesuit 6, Central Catholic 0. Cleveland Eilers.
Caden Butcher out for the extra point here. Let's see if
Wyatt Williamson will hold. Caden Butcher will attempt a point after touchdown. Our long snapper is Trey Cleveland.
Tough snap for Jesuit.
And that's going to be, it looked like the snap really never made it to the holder, and the Crusaders are up 6-0. But Kenny, did we think we were going to see that drive?
I knew the Crusaders were coming in with some heart, but man, I really thought the Rams had some great defense. But looks like Jesuit wanted it a little bit more that drive, so I'm excited to see how the Rams respond.
You know, for the Crusaders to get shut out last weekend, come back, first drive against arguably the best team in the state, march down 6 points.
I think it's really a game of passion, and I think Crusaders saw what happened last week. They were obviously really disappointed with their results, so I think they worked extra hard in practice this week, nailed down the plays, and were able to see the end zone that drive.
And one of the things here, there is a large Central Catholic fan base here, and they are quiet. I think they're a bit stunned after.
They were definitely not expecting that first drive.
And so for the Crusaders here, now we talked about the defense. The Crusader, that was one of the bright spots last week for the Crusaders, and they're going to have their work cut out for them with this Ram offense.
Yeah, it's easier said than done with this Ram offense. One of the deepest offenses in the state, really. Weapons all around the field, so it's going to be interesting to see how Jesuit covers the whole field.
And
Caden Butcher kicks it into the end zone.
Goes into the end zone for a touchback. The Rams will take over first and 10 on their own 20-yard line.
Let's see if Crew Newman gets the first drive. He was a little bit banged up last week from an injury from the first game.
Well, this obviously the Rams like to throw the ball, but this Crusader secondary has some experience.
Oh, they sure do. Number 2, Elias Johnson, one of our college commits. He's going to University of Washington next year. Could be the strongest spot of our defense. Really just all around confident player, and it really shows in his play.
And that's just off tackle run there for the Rams. Picks up a couple yards, but second down. They're calling it 1 yard, so second down and 9 here. And the Rams are going to go hurry up, as they often do. Probably have called the first set of plays here already.
Seeing if they can catch the Crusaders off guard.
Oh, we're going to.
As you said before, a lot of two-way players on the field right now for Jesuit. You can see most of people from the offensive drive playing defense right now, and I think that's one of the strong suits of Jesuit, really just having talent on offense and defense.
And that pass is broken up by Grant Valley. Turned right at the right moment there to break up the pass. And I think we saw that little bit of that arm strength from Newman there. Put it right on a line to the receiver.
The Rams love to come out hot. Last game, they scored on their first 5 possessions, so they definitely love to sling the ball early.
So a third and a long 9 here for the Rams, deep in their own part of the field, and see what they got here. Oh, and the Crusaders get into the backfield with some and take down the Rams here, and the Rams are going to go 3 and out.
Number 35.
I think if you asked anyone from the Central Catholic student section, you would not hear a 3 and out. So definitely a great start from Jesuit, and I'm excited to see how they use this momentum in their offensive drive. Now, not only was that a 3 and out, but that was a 3 and out on their own 20. Great defense from Jesuit that drive.
And it's like Sam Schuver here for the Rams, the punter. End over end, the Crusaders just want to stay clear, as they're going to get great field position here for their second drive of the first quarter. We have about 4 minutes and 26 seconds left here in the first quarter, and the Jesuit Crusaders are up 6-0. And we saw a lot of Trainer Cleveland there in that first drive.
We did. I think that's a result of all the run plays that were called. As I said before, a pro-style quarterback compared to Jacob Hutchinson, and it worked for them. Found a lot of good holes, a lot of good gains from them on the quarterback run.
And it looks like Hutchinson is going to take one of those receiver slots consistently for the Crusaders when Trainer's under center. Hand off to Lonnie Burt right up the middle for, call it 2 yards.
And there goes Hutchinson right from wide receiver into the quarterback position. He's getting a lot of snaps tonight.
Crusaders going with that trips wide. Cleveland in the shotgun again.
Looks like the Rams have been sitting in a man coverage for most of the game.
And that's to Jace Burton for a Crusader first down.
On the receiving end of Cleveland's pass. Knocked out of bounds by number 7, Tommy Mitchell. Gain on the play. Good for a Jesuit first down.
It looks like the Crusaders are catching the Rams a little flat-footed here. They don't, maybe what they scouted on the Crusaders, they're not quite, haven't been able to adjust to here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Hernandez this weekend, and he said one of the best parts about being on the Crusader football team is all the film that's watched. And he said that's really what sets them apart as a team is the amount of film they watch and how they break it down. He thinks that plays a big role in their success.
Let's hand off to Lonnie Burt, and he's going to pick up about 8 yards on that first down carry.
Brings it to a 3rd and short.
Setting up a 2nd down and 2 yards.
Galen. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for the Crusaders on the Ram 30-yard line.
Cleveland shotgun again. Hand off to Bird, and he just gets
Bird is smothered.
Met hard at the line of scrimmage there, and for no gain. He's going to set up a 3rd and 2 for the Crusaders.
I would consider this in range for Caden Butcher, but see what they come out, what set they come out with in this.
Crusaders in a power I formation here, looking what is a short yardage situation here for them, trying to get this 2 yards.
Hutchinson still lining up at the receiver position.
And Cleveland's going to run for it himself, and he's going to make it
space
easily. And that is going to be a first down for the Crusaders. Just kind of rolled out in that bootleg. It looked like he was looking for Hutchinson, and Hutchinson just kept going down the field, and that just opened it up. And he was just in a foot race with that defensive end.
I think Hutchinson's role in this position could be just drawing the defensive back backwards and creating some room for Trainer to run.
So a new set of downs for the Crusaders. We're just about 2 minutes, and we're still in the first quarter here.
We're in for a high-scoring game.
Hutchinson out wide. Jesuit staying in the power I here.
Lonnie Bird on the carry.
And the Rams making the adjustment there and getting the Crusaders for a loss. Going to be 2nd down and about 12 for the Crusaders.
Makes it 2nd and 12 for the Crusaders.
Crusaders running out their 3 wide receivers there.
The 3-headed dragon of Burton, Johnson, and Eilers will see a lot of time tonight at the receiving corps.
Lonnie Bird is to Cleveland's left. Cleveland back to pass, and he's going to, no one there. Ooh.
Nearly intercepted.
Crusaders got lucky. It looks like it was kind of a blown route by the Crusaders. And that's going to set up a 3rd and 12. You know, and that, you know, a little bit of week 2 here. Cleveland getting a few more of the snaps, throwing the ball. I like that the Crusaders are looking to throw the ball here.
Don't forget, Cleveland's recovering from a gruesome knee injury last year, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's still shaking a little bit of dust off.
So it's 3rd and a long 12 for the Crusaders here. Cleveland in the shotgun with Burt to his left. Oh, and a snap gets away, and Cleveland just falls on it. And I think that takes the Crusaders out of field goal range as well.
Let's see if Caden Butcher can pin the Rams inside the 10-yard line.
Rams, number 7, Timmy Mitchell, along with Marion Gates.
Coming up at the end of the first quarter here, we're going to be going down to our sideline reporter, Anna Casado, who's going to give us some of the flavor of our Crusader fan base this evening. And there's Caden Butcher. Ooh, and can the Crusaders get it before it goes in? No. And that will be touchback, and 22 seconds left here in the quarter, and the Rams will get the ball at the 20-yard line.
And here comes Crew Newman after a first drive of, some might call it even disappointment out of this 3-and-out, but we know the talent's there, so we'll see if he tries to air it out again this drive.
And the Rams, if we know anything, they can score quick, and they showed that last week. I think you were saying it was 21-0, pretty quick for them.
Yeah, definitely an explosive offense. A lot of confidence. Just looking deep.
Newman scrambling. He's going to pick up a sizable gain there. Looks like it might even be close to a first down for the Rams.
On the carry. Knocked out of bounds by Elias Johnson, number 2. Gain on the play, good for a Rams first down.
That is a first down for the Rams.
Pay special attention to junior Zyles Smith, number 12, wide receiver. He led the Rams last year in receptions, yards, and touchdowns, and he already has an offer on the table from Arizona State.
And they hand off to Gates. Oh, Tyson Davis, excuse me.
Get on the play, good for a first down, first and 10 Rams.
And the Rams are moving here as we come to the end of the first quarter. And we're going to go down to our sideline reporter here in a few minutes. And also coming up in the second quarter, we're going to have Principal Khalid Maxey joining us. And we're going down to our sideline reporter.
Advances begin tomorrow.
Thanks, Anna. And while we were down on the sideline, the Rams quarterback Newman showing why he is the quarterback he is, making something out of nothing. And joining us here in the booth is Mr. Khalid Maxey, principal of Jesuit High School. How are you tonight, Mr. Maxey?
Amazing weather, that's exciting. We got to keep that quarterback contained, though.
And that's a little screen pass there to Landon Kelsey of the Rams. And Mr. Maxey, what do you think of the Crusaders' first drive there tonight?
I'm actually pretty impressed. It looks like they cleaned some things up from last week, taking advantage of trainer Cleveland's legs. Something that the Rams need to account for now.
Yeah, I was saying to Kenny here earlier, it's like, I don't know if the Rams were expecting that.
I'm pretty certain they weren't expecting that because that's not something they seen in the film they reviewed all week. I thought it was a nice little wrinkle, and hopefully we can continue to take advantage of that.
And here are the Rams right up the middle there with Davis, and he is going to walk in to the end zone for a touchdown for the Rams.
Yeah, we needed to get a touch or two more on him on the second level there. We got to swarm to the ball.
And that wakes up the Rams fans here to our left. And at the start of the second quarter here, the Rams looking to take the lead here with the extra point.
I think one of the takeaways from that drive is that Jesuit's providing great pressure on the ball, and I think a lot of Central Catholic's plays are turning into what some could call backyard football. So I think we got to work on some late play defense and really just wrap up.
And Zeke Vantoff is out here for the Crusaders for the extra point.
That's a good observation, Kenny. When a quarterback can scramble for that long, it's really hard to cover receivers for that long, even if they're covered well.
Mr. Maxey, as a former player yourself at the high school level, what do you enjoy most seeing from our players there on the field?
You know what? This was some of the funnest times I ever had playing football. Went on to play at the University of San Diego, but honestly, the camaraderie, the shared misery of the two-a-days and early practices and getting the payoff here on Friday night is some of the things I remember the most, playing in front of my friends and community. Those are the memories that still stick with me. Obviously, all the things you learn about being part of a team and doing your job and just being part of something greater.
So as the Crusaders huddle up here, getting ready to receive the kickoff, do the Crusaders change it up, or do they stick with what they do? And are we going to see something different in the second quarter? We got this two quarterbacks.
We're going to see. We haven't seen Jacob Hutchinson yet, but I'm wondering if they're going to put him in right now and see if we see something different. I definitely think we need to go back to Trainer to see if those legs can continue to work. And getting the ball to Lonnie is really important to establish that run game outside of Trainer and mix it up. We seem to be running a lot of bubble screens, which they have to account for on the outside. So we're going to see. Although we're moving on to offense right now, I've made an observation in the last 2 weeks that I haven't seen in the last 10, 11 years, and that's our DBs rolled up and pressing on the outside.
Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed, taking advantage of the athleticism we have, so I'm interested to see. One of the downsides to that is when you're pressing on the outside, when a running back gets to the second level, there's less guys over there to account for them.
Grand Valley picks up the ball about the 15 and takes it out to about the 33-yard line, and that ball just died when it hit the turf. It's like you got to remember, like, it's not a punt. You got to pick that ball up.
It's a live ball. It's anybody's game.
Yeah, Mr. Maxey, as you were saying, I think this is maybe one of the greatest years of defensive backs we've seen at Jesuit in a while. We have the track star Grant Valley and University of Washington commit Elias Johnson, I think, really just stacked with talent on the defensive end.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. That's a lot of speed in the secondary. We definitely need to take advantage of the talent we have.
We got a little delay here as the refs get the Jesuit football into place here.
Let's just see what's going to happen. This is the third series. They're still sticking with Trainer, so.
A little bit different look than we saw earlier here.
Single wide receiver. One-on-one. Oh, jet sweep.
That was
that wrinkle is very important to be able to take advantage of the speed we have on the edge. He makes that person miss. We get a first down.
That was Jace Burton there on the run, and that's one of the things with the Crusaders. They might be setting something up for later there with that look.
I'm a big fan of the jet sweep, so they have to account for that motion and that ball could be handed off, so I'm interested to see if they'll come back to it.
And that play really comes down to the blocking. Let's see if the guards can pull and really get on the outside of their players to open up a big gap for our wide receiver.
Oh, and that's a missed snap again. and Cleland just does a good job getting rid of it.
Miraculous recovery by Cleland.
Yeah.
And, that's one of the things we talked about at the beginning. It's a young offensive line, and even that center position is one, still learning.
Yeah, we have to clean that up. That could be very rough. We've seen a few bad snaps on the point after touchdown and just getting the ball back to Trainer. Hutchinson's checked into the game. Trainer's still in.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Hutchinsons out wide in that receiver position. So
not at the QB, but yeah, the wide receiver. No targets to him yet, but taking a lot of reps in the slot.
We have not seen this formation a lot from the Crusaders in the past 5 years.
This is four wide. Screen.
Early pressure from Central Catholic limits Trainer's options.
And it was actually set up.
It was a perfect call. It was a perfect call. It came right on time, and we were unable to take advantage. Punt team out.
And the Crusaders are going to be facing a 4th and 8 here, and Caden Butcher is out to punt. But that play, that pass is complete. And Lonnie Bird had a lot of room to run.
There was very few white jerseys over there.
Between the first drive for Jesuit and plays like that being set up, I think there's been flashes of greatness from the Crusaders, and I think they can definitely make a run at this game if they play defense well against the Rams.
The Rams are calling a timeout here, trying to get set up. It looks like maybe they didn't have the right personnel on the field.
Kenny, from a student perspective, how is school going since we've opened up?
The first couple of weeks coming out of summer, your body's not ready for that early wake up. But I really like the classes I'm in. Classes like advanced media production allow me to be in this box with you guys tonight. So I'm really grateful that I'm able to take that class. But the classes have been great. I've been having a really fun time getting to see everyone I couldn't see over the summer break, and really just getting back into the swing of things for my big senior year.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And Kenny, I gave you that compliment. You called your first game the other night.
I did. Men's soccer.
Any nerves, or is it just felt like something like you're a sports fan? You do it naturally.
Growing up, I'd watch a lot of JCTV, and I'd admire those guys. So I was definitely more excited than nervous. And I watched a lot of Sports Center as a kid, looking up to guys like Stuart Scott and Craig Sager. So I was definitely really excited to get up here.
All right.
It's cooler than the other side of the pillow, right?
Exactly.
All right, and the Central Catholic Rams are going to start 1st and 10 from the 30 here. And we talked about, Mr. Maxey, at the beginning of the broadcast that one of the bright spots last week was the Jesuit defense as they settled in.
Yes.
And, they seem to have – they had that 3 and out for the Rams on that first drive, and even the broken plays that they're forcing. But what would you hope to see here from the Crusaders now?
Always looking for a big play, with this talent at any point in time. Just as I speak, we need to see plays just like that.
And that is Lonnie Burt getting in Newman's face there.
But I think you need to realize that the guys in the secondary made that happen by covering up the receivers out wide. Newsom had to pull that ball down because they were not open on the outside.
We talked about the offensive line being young, but the defensive line as well also lost a lot of key players from last year. And we see senior Liam Cassidy really taking lead on both the offensive and defensive side balls of the line.
Yeah, he's going to take a lot of snaps every game this season.
Doing a great job early of really shedding through the Ram line.
The Crusaders get through. And that, speaking of Liam Cassidy making the tackle there.
Newsom will continue to wreak havoc on us if we can't stay disciplined on the outside and keeping him contained. Can't let him get outside the tackles.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things from Crew Newman that goes unnoticed is that he also has a good set of legs. I think because of the high passing numbers he produces every week, it's tough to notice all the speed he has, but when there's no open receivers, he can take off.
Crusaders have a 3rd and 5 here.
Pressing out on the outside again.
Crusaders get through again.
It happened again.
Yeah,
Case of backyard football.
Crew Newman is making this happen all by himself.
And that was Crew Newman to Andreas Nicolaides. And again, just a little scramble, buying a little time, and the receivers just have the time to get open. And the Rams, they're trademarked no huddle here. Just getting the plays in from the sideline.
Yeah. We're still pressing down here into the boundary with Elias, and up top, Grant seems to be in a zone.
Two safeties playing close.
Oh, and the jet sweep there for...
Got to keep our head up on the tackles.
Brought down by Grant Valley.
Looks like about a 5 yard. They're going to give him about 6 yards on that carry, and setting up a 2nd and 4 for the Rams.
You know, it'll be a good defensive night if they can get, 11 of those black jerseys swarming to the ball wherever it is.
I think most teams in the Pacific Northwest consider if you're guarded by Elias Johnson, that's almost a no-throw zone. So we'll see if he gets targeted at all this game and what he can do on the defensive side of the ball.
And Crew Newman not finding many people open on that first option, second option. And
I have to say the Jesuit High School secondary is doing an amazing job. He is pulling that ball down and not able to make his first and second read. So kudos to the Jesuit High School secondary.
And this sets up a 3rd and long 3 here for the Rams. And looks like we're going to have a timeout Crusaders, as the Crusaders, I think, probably are looking for a little breath here.
No problem. That's smart. That's smart.
You know, we were talking earlier, a lot of these players play offense and defense, and you're taking a lot of snaps, and that early in the season, that conditioning is...
It's the nature of high school football. We want to have our best players on the field as much as we can.
And it looks like Coach Andreas is talking to both of his quarterbacks here as they get ready for, hopefully here, to come out in the field.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a stop here and force a punt by the Rams.
Big momentum shift for the Crusaders if they can get that done.
And the defense coordinator for the Crusaders is Nigel Burton. He is emphatic in encouraging his defense here for a stop.
We're down to 3 for the Rams on the Jesuit 46-yard line.
Looks like we got somewhat of a nickel package in there. This is interesting.
Showing something different here. Oh, and the Crusaders read it, but
First down.
Almost looked like a run-pass option from the Rams there with a little bubble from the wide receiver.
And they're going to...
And the tackle for Jesuit number 39. That's William Lostad. Green on the play, good for a first down.
And that's going to be a first down for the Rams. And they had them short, but just that extra effort by Davis there got the Rams a first down.
All we can do is swarm to the ball to make sure if a teammate's got him, give me some time to get over there and help him down. They can't assume the teammate's going to bring him down.
Liam Cassidy on the tackle there.
Tyson Davis on the carry.
You know, and just to recap here, the scoring. So the Crusaders started off on their first drive with a strong drive and scored that first touchdown. They did miss the extra point. And the Rams came back on their second drive to score, and that puts us at that 7-6, kind of that unusual football score. So,
yeah, hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt us.
3rd and 3 here, and back to Davis, and
just enough for the first.
Tyson Davis to get on the
Seems
carry.
like Crew Newman needs a little breather. He's not, they're handing the ball off.
I mentioned to Mr. Powers at the beginning of the game, Crew Newman was a little bit banged up last week from the first game and was not taking a lot of snaps at practice. So, but that definitely means that Central Catholic has a lot of depth at the quarterback position. So I wouldn't be surprised if they started playing some new numbers out there.
I know if
the
I'm,
Rams with trips
I know if
right
I'm the
here.
Rams coach, I'm keeping Crew Newman in as long as his legs and arm will take us.
Rams number 22, Killian Sunday. Making the stop for Jesuit, Lonnie Burke.
And that's going to be a first down for
Second and 9 for the Rams.
Yeah, if we can
Second down for the
if we
Rams
can
there.
cut down on Crew Newman breaking contain and making something out of nothing, we'll be in good shape.
And we want to give a shout out to all our Crusader fans watching throughout the country. Just got a text from Miss Martha Cope, who is in Minnesota watching. Martha Cope, our athletic coordinator here at Jesuit High School, helping support our athletic department. And the Crusaders read that well. Looks like a no gain there.
Yeah, pretty sure tackle by Jace Burden out there.
Setting up a 3rd and 9 here. So a big play here early in the game.
And I'd say who's ever on that field side to keep Crew Newman contained.
I would not be surprised if Ziel Smith for the Rams is targeted here on the far side of the field.
Pass, you're right.
Ooh.
Slips it out to the running back.
Oh, and his helmet came off there. Big hit.
2 down territory.
And that will pick up a 4th down. The Crusaders did not give up the first down, but it is going to be 4th and 2. Call it 2.
Two-ish. Oh,
This comes down to how confident the coach is in his players. Let's see if he decides to go for it.
oh, this is 4 down territory. This doesn't surprise me.
Well, the Rams also have a good place kicker there.
Oh, they do.
And that was number 22 for the Rams on the run, Kalani Sombi.
Who's that, Gellin in the backfield for the Rams?
That looks number 2, yep, Cade Gellin.
Single coverage.
It's pass.
One-on-one.
Oh, what a catch. And that is a touchdown for the Rams. Landing Kelsey going up.
You know what? He couldn't have been covered too much better than he was covered.
Yeah, I was going to say Grant Valley was
In his pocket.
right there, and just a great catch by the Ram Landon Kelsey. And we are at 13-6 here, and the Rams looking to make it 14-6 here with the extra point.
Yeah, that was a great individual effort.
I think it's really hard these days for the defensive back to find the line between good coverage and pass interference. So I think Grant Valley really tried his best there, but just enough where there wasn't any flags on the turf there.
And the Rams extend their lead here, 14-6 with 5 minutes left here in the first half. Not quite the high-scoring affair. The half is not over, but we're seeing a little bit of, it seems like the teams are still feeling each other out here.
We're playing some real football. This is a competitive game.
And the Rams did elect to defer at the beginning of the game, so they will be receiving the ball at halftime. So let's see if Jesuit has an answer here to make it either a tie or a one-score game, depending on a field goal or a two-point conversion.
Yeah, and to your point, Kenny, I think it is going to be important that the Crusaders try to get some points here before halftime, with the Rams receiving the ball to start the second half.
Grant Valley's had some good returns tonight for Jesuit already. Let's see if he can have another good one.
And Van Toff here getting ready to kick off to Grant Valley, and the Crusaders go with the Grant Valley lone there in the back.
No, we haven't talked much about Matt Eilers. He looks pretty good back there in the secondary and after scored our only touchdown so far. He's looking pretty good.
He really came into his own last year as a player. And
definitely a overlooked guy on the Jesuit roster considering our stacked wide receiver and defensive back room. But yeah, you guys are right. He's really making a name for himself this year, getting a bigger role, and has already shown himself why he's one of the better wide receivers on the team with scoring the first touchdown of the game.
And it looks like there might have been a penalty there, maybe a delay of game.
Seems like it.
The play clock ran down. That's a 5-yard penalty on the Rams, so the Crusaders will potentially even have a little bit better field position because, you know, both of the kickoffs by Van Toff have been a bit short.
Yeah, it's time to take advantage of this. You know, special teams a third of the game. Most teams don't spend a third of their time practicing special teams. So, you know, sometimes if you can win the special teams game, it could be all the difference in the world.
And another short kick, and it's
Going to be Eilers.
Eilers picks it up. Gets it out to about the 40-yard line.
The return for the Crusaders have filled out Eilers. Making a stop for the Rams. Patrick Phelps, number 17.
It looks like trainer Cleveland is going to continue at quarterback for the Crusaders.
No Hutchinson in the wide receiver slot for this play.
It's going to go quarterback run there for about 3.
This has been a common play for the Crusaders. This QB power with a trips diversion on the other side of the field has opened up a lot of space for trainer.
You know, and they opened up with that in the first series, but we didn't see it for the next 2 or 3 series. So I mean,
got to keep them on their toes.
I think Central Catholic's getting used to the running game here, really able to shoot the gaps, so the A and B gaps really, and stop this inside run.
Yeah, we'll see if they start using Lonnie a little more too.
and I think for the Crusaders here is, I think, hopefully not giving the ball back to the Rams here before halftime.
I think that is a wise decision. They're jamming the point over here for the Crusaders.
Cleveland airs it out.
And there's a flag on the play.
Maybe holding, maybe roughing the passer.
It'll be holding on the Crusaders, and
That'll take him back.
I figured that was wishful thinking on my part. Looks to be a pretty amazing and regular Jesuit Central crowd.
Yep, both sections pretty much at capacity.
This is a great football atmosphere.
Yeah, this game dates back to 1958, and it's one of the longest lasting rivalries in the state of Oregon, so I'm really not surprised with this huge turnout.
Yeah, you have alumni showing up for this game, you know, and it's one of those kind of storied football games every year, and we meet them early in the season, and hopefully we meet them late in the season too.
Yeah, that's typically how it's played out for the past few years.
And I think not only the rivalry, but the weight this game holds from last year. I think
Looks
Jesuit's
like there's
got a
some
chip on the
confusion
shoulder.
here
That's
for the
a penalty.
Crusaders.
That's actually a penalty, but I don't know if the refs will see it.
There's a nice little gain there for the Crusaders, getting back some of the yardage on the penalty and setting up a third and short yardage right at short of the 50-yard line. And the clock continues to roll. So maybe a 3rd and 2.
3rd down and 2 now for the Crusaders on their own 48-yard line.
Coach Andreas giving the play call into trainer Cleveland. And I often say that the Jesuit quarterbacks will run a couple of miles every game.
Oh, yeah. I feel a power left coming, quarterback power.
And
Oh,
it's
looks
common
like
trip set.
we're going to have a timeout, Crusaders.
Timeout Jesuit, their second timeout.
Looks like the play clock was all the way down, and Coach Potter saw that and quickly called a timeout. So, Kenny, we talked about a little bit about this rivalry here, and the Rams have had the better of it in recent years.
Definitely. Last year, Rams knocked the Crusaders out of the playoffs, and that was really heartbreaking for the Crusaders, but I think they're looking for revenge tonight, and we'll see if they can change from what happened last year.
You can always count on this game being a pretty good game, though, as it was when we were eliminated in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Jesuit actually has more wins than losses in the series, 23 wins and 18 losses. So you could consider them to have the upper hand against the Rams throughout the rivalry, but they have definitely had the better of us in the past couple of years.
Third down and 2 for the Crusaders.
All right, here we go, Crusader fans. This is one of the plays here that we might look back on and remember here in this game.
3rd and 2.
Oh!
He had a chance.
Matt Eilers laying out for that.
I don't know if I punted right here.
I think the Crusaders I think they felt it was 2-down territory here, so they took a shot.
Yeah.
Looks like they're keeping their offensive set on the field. Great opportunity there from Eilers. Just really great coverage from the Rams.
And that was one of the best throws of the night for Cleveland.
You know, it hit his hands. There was an opportunity.
One of the rare passes from inside the pocket from the Crusaders. You notice a lot of bootleg and rollout from the quarterbacks.
Oh, freeze play. Nope.
And there it is, the first down for the Crusaders. And that seems to have been their go-to play tonight when they need that short yardage to
towards the sideline.
It's almost like a running play.
And Jace Burton with the sure hands there. And 1st and 10 for the Crusaders at the 45, and the Crusaders are moving the ball.
And the Rams definitely aren't shying away from coverage, playing man for most of their defensive sets.
And Hutchinson checks back into the game.
Still in that wide receiver position, though.
He's got the gloves on, so looks like he is. Crusaders in the power eye here again. For Lonnie Burt. Looks like it was a, oh, and it's a fumble for the Crusaders.
It was a reverse that was gone bad. It was a reverse that went bad.
Looks like Lonnie Burt kind of got hit as the reverse was.
He should have held on to the ball. Somebody was already draped on.
And this is probably not the scenario the Crusaders were hoping for here late in the first half.
You know, just got to make a stop.
2.5 minutes. The Rams have a chance to make this a 2-possession game before half and receive the ball after halftime. Let's see if they do their high explosive gunslinging offense that they're known for.
Yeah. Next time the Crusaders just got to know when to eat it. So next time.
Coming in hot from the
Pressure
edge there,
again.
from the edge, but Newman senses it and makes something out of nothing again, and he's got about a 7-yard gain there on first down.
Our defense, our initial point of attack is very strong, and Newman continues to just make plays.
I think over time, if we continue to bring this pressure, Newman will get tired, and we'll eventually start to wrap his ankles. So
let's go. Hopefully the secondary continue to play how they've been playing.
And that's Davis again on the run. Looks like he has enough for the first down. His legs keep moving when he hits that line.
Yeah, still in the no huddle.
And
the clock is running.
Get lined up.
Well, I guess he is a little short. Looks like 3rd and 2 here. And Newman keeps it and breaks a tackle, and he is going to score. Just kind of broke through that line, and with that high, I guess that pressure, not really much in the secondary to put up resistance there.
This is the Crew Newman show.
we've been saying it all game.
And with 1 minute 15 seconds on the clock in the first half, the Rams are up 20-6 here, looking to make it 21-6.
It was only a matter of time till Crew Newman broke free, and that's where the Crusaders saw it first.
Looks like offsides on the Crusaders. And they are declining that penalty, not wanting to throw off the process there for the Rams kicker by moving the ball. Kick is up, and it is good, right through the uprights.
Sitting at a minute 15. Let's see if the Crusaders can make something happen in their 2-minute drill.
And it'll be interesting to see here if the Crusaders will be content to run the ball, let the clock run out, or they're just going to keep trying to get after it here.
I hope we just continue to play football and play with some intensity to score. The Rams will get the ball at the half. That has to be weighing heavily on the Crusaders. As solid as the secondary has been doing in pass coverage, we definitely need to wrap up on our tackling at every level.
And the Jesuit coaching staff kind of huddling up there on the sideline, probably talking a little bit about their halftime adjustments that need to be made.
You know, it's interesting. I'm just going to say it one more time. We just need to tackle. We seem to be in
it's a simple game, really.
Yeah. We seem to be in a position, especially initially, and then the Rams continue to break tackles. So we got to swarm to the ball.
Including Crew Newman, if he continues to break free, it's gonna be a long night for the Crusaders.
And Grand Valley is back again for the Crusaders deep. And it looks like the last couple of kickoffs here, the Rams have chosen not to kick to him. And that's going to go into the end zone. And the Crusaders get the ball at the 20-yard line with a minute 15 left.
Let's see if we'll see Hutchinson's arm or Trainer's legs.
He's got the gloves on.
Let's see if the Crusaders go into a little hurry up here. You know, a little spread offense here with Burton to his left.
Got a wheel route.
A little bit overthrown.
It's a miscommunication.
Jacob Hutchinson's first touchdown of his high school career was actually lined up in the wide receiver position. So a little bit of a trick play. Came off the line, caught it, and threw it downfield. So I would not be surprised if Coach Potter kept that in the playbook and they're building up something special here.
Miscommunication on that last play. I believe they were supposed to run mirrored wheel routes on both sides.
You know, the Crusaders do have to be a bit careful here if they throw 3 balls, could give the ball back with a minute left to the Rams.
You know, you got to rely on your defense to be able to make a stop. The Crusaders looks like they're playing to win, which I think is the right thing to do. They're playing to win the game and just not to lose. Let's get a first down.
Quarterback keep there again by the Crusaders for just a couple yards.
Central's using their timeouts.
Central's going to use their timeouts. They're not going to make it easy here for the Crusaders. Timeout.
Now, Mr. Maxey, as the school's principal and during game week, how do you keep these players hyped up leading up towards one of the biggest games of the year?
You know, I'm going to say this as a former player and stuff. I shouldn't need to do anything to get them hyped up for a game. I think the energy around the Central Catholic game is always high. Everyone in the community comes out, alums. So for a game like this, I'm actually not worried about the intensity, the focus, or anything like that. I think it's staying the course week to week, doing it for the love of the game and being able to turn that switch on, and when you step on the gridiron, that's all I need to get hyped up for a game and just keep them focused. Now, all the fans are definitely plus. We just want to see if we can keep the energy of our fans going, you know, throughout the course of football season. And in weeks 8, 9, and 10, that's when we really need to worry about when that little extra edge from the fans could truly help.
For sure. A little bit of a high snap there.
And then a quick recovery there by Trainer, and the Rams call a quick timeout, and it's 58 seconds here left in the first half, and Crusaders are going to need to punt the ball away.
We have to punt, yeah.
Looks like the Rams are trying to stop the clock. possibly to get another chance here before halftime.
Yeah,
58 seconds is an eternity when you have your timeouts.
And when you got someone like Crew Newman and multiple weapons, they can score.
Timeout on the field. Timeout Central Catholic, their third and final timeout.
We'll see if Caden Butcher can pin them back here. Definitely going to be an interesting halftime huddle for the Crusaders. A lot of adjustments to be made, but I'm still confident that they can come out here and keep it tight.
Back in punt formation for the Crusaders, number 30.
Caden Butcher back for the punt here. We'll see if the Rams bring a little pressure, make it a little uncomfortable here as Crusaders are backed up in their own end zone.
That's a return ball.
Oh, and it's a short kick, and they're going to end up with great field position. And they're going to score on the punt return. Timmy Mitchell for the Rams.
Yeah, that's a dagger.
The Rams definitely have the mojo right now.
On number 7, Timmy Mitchell in the score. It's the score, Central Catholic 27, Jesuit 6. And the attempt to pull off the touchdown is number 87.
Yeah, we got to Caden now kick this coverage on there. We need to get some hang time on the ball to allow the coverage team to get down.
I think the Rams' first priority there was to get a return. They brought 2 men back for the back of the return and was ready for anything wherever the ball went.
I know I'm going to sound like a broken record here in the booth, but we got to wrap up.
Got to tackle.
And get a tackle.
Got to tackle. And the Crusaders are up 28-6, or the Central Catholic Rams are up 28-6 here with 43 seconds left in the half. And Crusaders, I have to say, are fighting to get to halftime.
They are fighting to get to halftime. We got to keep our chin up. There's a full half of football left. One possession, one play at a time. You know, I think some of those keys going into the locker room are going to be like, hey, we really need to take this one play at a time. We need to swarm to the ball, wrap up, and really just maintain and get a stop.
I think you're right. It all comes down to tackling. I think most of the other sides of the ball have been looking pretty good for the Crusaders. The offensive line stepped up. The defense is doing their job, but I think it just comes down to tackling, as you said.
And the Crusaders are lined up to receive the kick here again.
You know, I think the defensive game plan in the secondary has been very strong until they break contain. So from a pass defense standpoint, I think we've been doing actually extremely well. I'd grade us out very well. Just tackling, we're not getting the passing grade. Catch that in
Grand
there.
Valley.
Grand Valley has some room.
Gets it back to just past the 30-yard line. With the Crusaders will come out in the field with 35 seconds left here.
If I'm being honest, I don't think you're going to see us air the ball out.
Yeah, from how the past couple possessions have gone, a fumble, a punt return, I think it'd just be safe to hold it here until halftime.
I think this might be the Lonnie Burke show.
Jace Burton taken down there for just about a 1-yard gain, and that clock is going to run. It looks like the Rams are maybe out of timeouts, are content here to go into halftime with the 28-6 lead, and I don't think we're going to have to run another play here.
Yeah, they're going to go back in there. Coach got to keep their chin up. We got a full half of football left. It just comes down to getting a stop.
And coming up at halftime here, we're going to send it down to Anna Casado, our reporter.
With freshmen Ella and Luke, and we're here to talk about their little high school experience so far. So did you guys just come back from the new student barbecue?
Yes, we did.
It was a lot of fun. So what did you guys do? Like, what happened there?
It was really fun. So we got to practice all of our cheers as freshmen, and we got to eat some really great food and meet a bunch of new people.
That's so fun. Okay, so how have the first 2 weeks of your high school experience been so far?
It was really great, and I really enjoyed meeting lots of new people and just learning lots of new things.
Yeah, that's awesome. What are you guys' thoughts on Friday Night Lights so far? Like the high school games, like the energy?
It's pretty lit. The energy is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, it's so nice to be in such a big, strong community.
Okay, a little curveball for you guys. What's your favorite cheer been so far?
Definitely the booty pop one.
I love that one. What about you?
I'd have to agree.
Okay, back to you, Kenny. Thank you guys so much. Okay, that was so good.
between the Jesuit Crusaders and the Central Catholic Rams. The score stands 28-6. The Central Catholic Rams, Kenny, what started as a very promising first quarter for the Crusaders quickly descended into a second quarter that they'd rather forget.
For sure. I think, as you said, Jesuit started out hot, had a great first drive, really caught the Rams off guard. I don't think they were expecting that at all, but then I think they picked up on our run game, started shooting the gaps hard, and led to a lot of 3-and-outs for us. And I think not only that, but they capitalized a lot on offensive drives and doing what they do best with airing the ball out. A lot of backyard football plays with Crew Newman scrambling out of the pocket and making a last-second throw. So, but I think Jesuit can definitely adjust and really start to contain tackles. And as we talked about before, I think the biggest point of improvement for the Crusaders this half is tackling. I think if we can wrap up, aim low, really just take down Crew Newman, really take him down before he gets free, I think that'll be a big game changer for the Crusaders.
Yeah, and I think, the Crusaders, I wouldn't say they played mistake-free football, but really kind of one crucial mistake there in the end of the second quarter. They were driving. They tried to do a little reverse, and that fumbled. And that mistake, if that doesn't happen, we potentially have a 26-13 game instead, 28-6 here. So you can't dwell on that too much, but for the Crusaders, they had a couple of snaps that kind of got behind the quarterback, but those didn't hurt them. But just that one mistake kind of turned into a 2-score flip there.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, Central Catholic's a physical team, and ball security really important for the Crusaders this year. Couple new spots at the running back, and at the end of the day, Central Catholic's a hard-hitting team, and I think they're really trying to get the ball out of our hands. So I think that was definitely a major point brought up at halftime in the locker rooms, just protecting the ball, playing cautiously, and I think the points will come to us if we play smart football this second half.
Yeah, and the Crusaders are going to hoping that defense is going to make an adjustment here. And as we said earlier, late in the first half, they did well kind of getting to the ball, getting that first kind of person to the ball, but they just could not get Crew Newman down.
Yeah, I think you're right. The pressure was there, but just the tackle at the end just never came around. So the pressure's great, but the pressure's only so much if we can't capitalize at the end of it. So I'm excited to see the adjustments that were made, and if Jesuit can flip the script here and come out on top.
All right, the Crusaders lining up here, kicking to the Rams as the Rams deferred on the coin toss, and Caden Butcher sends it deep, and it's just about the 1-yard line. The Rams running it back here, and Crusaders looking to make a tackle. And here we go again with Landon Kelsey, Timmy Mitchell.
Timmy Mitchell is one of the best kick return and punt return threats in the state, so I'm not surprised that he's making a lot of ground tonight with a punt return touchdown and just that great kick return that we just saw.
And the Rams starting at their own 45 with great field position. And here we go with the second half, and let's see if the Rams continue to throw the football, or will they try to keep the clock moving here against the Crusaders?
I think as long as Crew Newman's on the field, it's going to be either a deep pass or a scramble, so I'm excited to see this.
Looks like Newman got hit and kind of interfered with that pass. He didn't really get as much on it as he wanted it, so it was well short of the receiver. It's too bad that Jesuit corner didn't just give a look back. He might have had a chance at it.
And I think that's just what the Crusaders are looking for right now. Pressure on the quarterback, forcing bad passes like that eliminates the threat of a run game that we've clearly been struggling with in the first half. So I think that's best case scenario for the Crusaders right now.
And it's 2nd and 10 for the Rams here. Oh, and there's the tackle that we're looking for.
There's the wrap-up we needed.
And that was on Kalani Sombi there. And so it's setting up a 3rd and 10 for it looks like a loss of the yard. Maybe, they gave him a yard, or Maybe 3rd and 9 here.
Let's see if Jesuit drops back in defense here, predicting possibly a bigger pass here to convert this 3rd and 9.
So an opportunity here for this Crusader defense for a big stop here to start the second half. Ooh. And there's that first down.
I think it really just pick your poison for the Crusaders. I think they drop deep there expecting a really quintessential Central Catholic deep pass, and they caught him with the short button route. So looks like another adjustment Jesuit needs to make.
And we've called Andreas Nicolaid's number a couple of times tonight, and that was a big one for the Rams. Ooh. And then it's intercepted by the Crusader. No, they are waving it off and saying it hit it. It looked like Matt Eilers came up with the ball there, Kenny, but the ref, the back judge, clearly had a better angle than I did.
And this is where you wish, as a Crusader fan, you wish you had this instant replay that all these professional leagues have these days, because that's an easily challengeable play from Coach Potter. So unfortunately, it's just not how the ball rolls in high school, but nonetheless, a great effort from Matt Eilers to break up the pass and force a 2nd and 10.
And the handoff to Davis again. He picks up about 4, maybe 5.
We're definitely seeing more run game from Central this half.
Brought down by number 79, Liam Cassidy. In on the play set to be 3rd down and 6.
Tyson Davis there staying in the backfield next to Crew Newman. And 3rd and 7 here for the Rams.
Looks like more man coverage from Jesuit.
Crusaders getting some pressure.
Great deflection from the Crusaders.
Pass incomplete.
It's Kainoa Santiago, junior for the Crusaders. Another younger guy on the team, making a huge impact.
And a guy with some speed.
Oh, yeah.
He covers that center field for the Crusader baseball team.
Yep, another common two-sport athlete. Coach Potter loves when his players play multiple sports.
And the Rams here with 4th and 7. Looks like they're going to stay on the field since they are in Crusader territory. Willing to take the gamble here.
We saw that button route earlier in this drive. Let's see if they try and produce that again from their tight end.
And Newman back, a little rollout. Oh, and a little kind of button hook. And there's Hyla Smith there.
Yeah, one of the better wide receivers for Central Catholic. As I said, holding an offer from Arizona State. So definitely a threat in the state of Oregon, and I will not be surprised if we see him wearing some different jerseys in the next coming years in college ball.
And that moves the chains again for the Rams, and they are knocking on the door here at the 26-yard line of the Crusaders here with about 9 minutes, 9.5 minutes here left to go in the 3rd quarter. That's about a gain of about 5 yards, maybe 6 for the Rams. And Crusader defense just looking for something here, looking for something to change the momentum here for the Rams.
The Rams definitely aren't giving the Crusaders a lot of opportunities to turn the ball over with heavy run game this drive.
Second and 5 for the Rams. Crew Newman tied up, and there's a 5-yard loss for the Rams as Liam Cassidy.
Making a stop for the Crusaders, number 41, that's Neil Herman.
One thing I've noticed about the game tonight is we've not seen a lot of targets towards whoever Elias Johnson's guarding, really. And I know a couple students at Jesuit term it Johnson Island, where whatever wide receiver is guarded by him, they're not making it back. So definitely not surprised that it's been a little silent, but I would say silent in a good way, that they've been too afraid to pass it over his way.
And it's 3rd and 9 here for the Rams. Again, 4-down territory.
Jesuits bringing
Just
the
a little
heat.
screen, but deflected by the Crusaders from the line of scrimmage and setting up a 4th and 9 here.
I don't know what the coaches said at halftime, but this is definitely a new Jesuit team on the defensive side of the ball. More intensity. They're tackling a lot better. I just think this is a promising half for the Crusaders.
They just need to make one more play here, get off the field.
Let's see if they run their common button route here when in trouble on 4th down.
4th down and 9 for Central.
Killian Sambe is the tailback next to Crew Newman there. And the Rams look to pass, and there's a
Pressure.
blitz up the middle. Crew Newman gets away, but he does not get the first down.
Great cause turnover by Jesuit.
And better containment from the Crusaders there, though Newman made it close. The Rams will turn it over on downs to start the half. And Kenny, maybe that's what the Crusaders need here.
Yeah, maybe this is the flip of momentum the Crusaders have been looking for, but let's see how they channel that on the offensive side of the ball.
We're going to have Trainer Cleveland in the quarterback position to start the half with Jacob Hutchinson out wide receiver.
We haven't seen many deep shots from the Crusaders this game. There's usually a couple every game, but I think they're being a little bit cautious with the very full Central Catholic defense.
And handoff to Lonnie Burt.
Looks like there's a little bit of mustard on the relish here from the refs. Let's see what they call. It could be a holding call on the Crusaders.
Waiting for the signal here from the...
Looks like the Crusaders are being brought back a little bit. Still unsure on what the call was, though.
Looks like a
5 yards.
5 yards. False start. False start. Not the start of the drive the Crusaders were looking for, but still a first down here in 15.
Yeah, that penalty pins them back pretty deep into their own territory. Single wide receiver.
Cleveland back. He's
a little bit overshot.
Airing it out, but not close. And it looks like Jace Burton is grabbing his leg there. Maybe, hopefully, just a cramp.
It's been a long game for Jace Burton. A lot of snaps on both the offensive and the defensive sides of the ball. I just think it's a lot of weight to put on your body. So we'll see if he's able to go in a couple plays, but he's definitely put his body through a lot tonight.
This brings up 2nd and 15 for the Crusaders.
Now, if you're Jesuit here, you think you're airing the ball out, or are you trying to run it one more time and see if you can get a couple more yards?
Well, I mean, just take him in chunks, Kenny. I think that's what we got to do. 5-6 yards a play here.
I think when you have a power back like Lonnie, it can't hurt to hand it off every now and then.
And they try to get around that edge, but nothing doing there as the Rams are all over it.
Yeah, Central Catholic swarming that like a pack of bees.
That's going to bring up a 3rd, and maybe they picked up a couple yards. Says call it 3rd and 13.
3rd and 15. Do you risk airing the ball out here?
I think the Crusaders here with 28-6, they got to go for a first down.
We saw that running back screen open up early in the first quarter. I wonder if they're thinking about running that again.
It looks like the Rams are going to try to bring some pressure here. Little screen.
Oh, it was there. That running back screen's open. Too much pressure from the Rams causes a inaccurate pass from Trainer Cleveland.
It looked like Julius Christensen was waiting for the ball, and trainer could not get him that little screen pass, and so that will bring up 4th and 15. And Crusaders have to be on alert here with Timmy Mitchell looking to return the punt again.
Yeah, already has one punt return touchdown, and it's definitely a dangerous start from deep. But Central Catholic in their double return set again. Definitely an ambitious strategy, but worked for them the first time. So
better coverage, but he is just so quick once he catches the ball. But
good ankle wrap up there.
And there's a flag on the play.
Brought down by number 41 of the Crusaders. That's Neil Herman. We have a penalty on the play.
There's going to be holding on the Rams, and that's going to push them back. It's going to push them back 10 yards to the 50-yard line. So a little bit of a break there for the Crusaders. Not as good field position for the Rams to start.
I think Jesuit had a great opening defensive drive into the second half, and I think if they can mimic what they did that first time, I think they get another chance at the ball here without 7 more Central Catholic points.
Ooh, Davis there with a great catch and a great throw by Crew Newman.
Great little play action set there from the Rams, really faking the Jesuit defense out and throwing it crossfield to the running back.
And Davis coming out of the backfield to get that.
Jesuit bringing the heat again.
Nice play by the Crusaders, and there's that tackling that Khalid Maxey was talking about earlier, just that gang tackling. Just as soon as someone holds them up, everybody's got to go to the ball.
Exactly.
And that's a loss for the Rams there. Probably about 3 or 4 yards. It looks like another Crusader is maybe cramping up here. And we see this sometimes early in the season where, you know, players getting used to needing to hydrate, you know, playing both ways on the game. And I remember last year at this time, similar, like that cramp. It was a little hotter last year at this time.
The beginning of the season is always a little bit eye-opening for the players. Got to make sure to drink your water, eat your bananas, get that potassium, but hope he's all right.
Saw that was Santiago there with the cramp up leg.
Yeah, those cramps are not pretty.
All right, it's second down and about 13, though the scoreboard is still showing 10, but that is definitely more than 10 yards, Kenny.
It's like about 5, 15.
And the Crusaders getting the back in the backfield. And Crew Newman eluding it. Another broken play. He gets back to a little line of scrimmage, and there's a flag. I think they're going to call late hit on the Crusaders.
A little bit of a high block there from the Rams. And
their block on the...
And a retort from the Crusaders leads to a possible unnecessary roughness or late hit.
Unnecessary on the Rams, and that's going to back the Rams up.
Yeah, that block looked a little bit high. I'm not surprised the refs agreed with that.
And that's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, that's a game changer for the Crusaders. That's leading to maybe third and
it's alert loss of down.
Does that make it 3rd and 30? Roughly?
Yeah, that's a 20-yard penalty.
Yeah. And we'll probably see a Central Catholic sky ball here.
It is still 2nd down.
Maybe some Crew Newman magic.
And he is going to keep it himself, try to get some back. And he gets right back, just short of the original line of scrimmage. So that's going to be a 2nd down and call it 11 or 12, or 3rd down and 11 or 12 for the Rams here. And another big play for the Jesuit defense. Another opportunity here to get the Rams off the field.
Yeah, sitting at 3rd and 12 roughly. See if Jesuit decides to drop back into coverage here and prevent any deep passes and possibly even the end zone.
It's almost like they just have to have one player who's watching Newman coming out of.
Yeah, possibly quarterback spy even. But easier said than done. Newman's elusive, and he can escape a tackle any day of the week.
And they get him. Quickly, the Crusaders blitz.
This is a whole new Jesuit team. Bringing the intensity in the second half.
And that is 4th and 12, and the Rams are staying on the field, so this is going to be 4th and 17. And, you know, it's one of those kind of, you're not going to be able to kick a field goal, Kenny, and potentially what are you going to move the ball? If you kick it and it goes in the end zone, they get at the 20, which is, you know.
You might as well.
You might as well go for it.
And with a high-power offense like this, I bet they're in this situation not very often, so this could be a new side of the Rams we see right now.
And Newman rolls right, and he's got some room to roam, but the Crusaders are trying to contain, and they get him again. Oh, no, he gets rid of it. Ooh.
This is a promising look for the Crusaders on the defensive side of the ball, and as long as the offense can capitalize, I think.
You know, and on that scramble, Newman did not look as nimble. He's taken a couple of hits this quarter.
Yeah.
I think to your point earlier, he didn't practice all week because he got a little banged up last week.
I think those 2 sacks on that drive really, it can do a lot to you. And I think when you're running as much as Crew is, you start to get tired, and it definitely showed on that last play. See what set Jesuit comes out in here. Would not be surprised if we saw the trips left, as we've commonly seen throughout the game, or even the quarterback run, which is a common theme for Jesuit.
Crusaders 1st and 10 here on their 35. Cleveland's over the center with the I formation. Oh, and the
gets it out.
Gets rid of it before he goes down. And
great pressure there from the Rams.
And that was Donnie Vircher for the Rams. Just read that, not fooled at all.
Yeah, even with the 22-point lead, the Rams are not afraid of bringing the heat.
And they are actually going to call in the grasp on that, Kenny, and that's going to be a 10-yard loss for the Crusaders, setting up 2nd and 20.
Yeah, it's a thin line when coming towards intentional grounding, and I think that was just a little bit over the line, and he wasn't too far out of the pocket where the refs are able to call that. Looks like Julius Christensen is in the game at running back for the first time.
Oh, there's a flag, and there's a
looks like the
break.
Refs have some laundry on the field.
And that's Elias Johnson, who was trying to run under it and did a good job just continuing to pursue the ball. And
that was definitely a little bit of contact before the ball. I'm not surprised the refs decided
especially
to
with
act on
two
that.
Rams there. Like if it's one-on-one, maybe you don't make that call. But if you got two guys on,
I think the Rams are aware of who Elias Johnson is, and I think they know that in one-on-one coverage as a quarterback or as a receiver, he's going to make the play. So it's a risk you have to take, and unfortunately for the Rams, it didn't pay off that time.
And so that is, you don't, unlike the NFL, Kenny, you don't get the ball at the spot of the foul. It is a 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, it'd be a whole new drive if they got it where the penalty was. But still, great yardage there for the Crusaders, and not losing a down either makes it 3rd and 5. It's a great opportunity for them to get a new set of downs.
So we're in that power eye here, see if they go play action or
tight man coverage here from the Rams. Good block.
Cleveland rolls out and just has to throw it out of bounds because there was no one in the vicinity. Looked like there was more Rams in the secondary than there were receivers for the Crusaders.
Yeah, looked like it was planned to be a deep throw, and once Cleveland got out of the pocket, those receivers were just down too far in the field for Cleveland to make a play. But looks like we're keeping the offensive set on the field. Matt Eilers checks in as a receiver. Cleveland's still at quarterback. We haven't seen a lot of Jacob Hutchinson tonight, which could be a surprise to many, as he was named the starter for game 1. But trainer really showing why he's a reliable quarterback with his legs and his arms. So I think it's a great decision by Coach Potter.
All right, 3rd and 5 here. I think that last play we said 3rd and 5, but it was really 2nd and 5. And that is broken up by the Rams. We'll see if the Crusaders here will play the field position game at 4th and 5, or they try to...
Looks like they're keeping the personnel on. Julius Christensen checks into the game at running back, giving Lonnie Bird a little break. Oh, last second pivot here from the Crusaders. Looks like the punt team's coming out.
Yeah, with the way the Crusader defense has been playing, you know, you got to trust your defense here a little bit. You got to stop.
And the defense has been showing out this second half, so if I'm Jesuit too, I'm putting my trust in the defense.
Good scoop there by Caden Butcher to get that off.
Great bounce.
And that is
this is going to be great for the Crusaders.
Nice roll for the Crusaders.
Inside the 10.
Great kick by Caden Butcher to pick up that kind of the snap that didn't quite reach him and get off a great kick and a great roll here. And so the Crusader defense is out on the field here. We have about 2 minutes, 25 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter.
Cornerback and wide receiver Elias Johnson sure has been getting his miles in this game, playing almost every snap on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Really being a trooper out there for the Crusaders when they need him most. And I feel like that's becoming a common theme in college too, where you'll see a lot of two-way guys that make plays on both sides of the field. So it's definitely a movement that's starting, and I won't be surprised if it keeps growing because of the effect it has on college football right now.
And the Crusaders read that. It might be a safety.
It's pretty close.
There's a negative yardage there, and that ball is...
They're dragging him back behind the 5.
Lost on the play.
Yeah, I mean, that is...
Almost to the 3.
They're saying the ball is on the 1 yard line.
Wow.
Ball is on the 1 yard line. 2nd and 16.
I think if you're Jesuit here, you're sending the heat.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder if they're going to try to gain some room here and maybe call a running play, but they're going to stay in the shotgun.
Let's see if Jesuit can send the dogs here.
Oh, there's a penalty.
A flag here. This could be crucial.
And that's a false start on the Rams. I don't know. You can't really go back much.
They're going to be on the line, though, that's for sure. And with the 2nd down, half the distance to the goal there. It's a tough spot for the Rams. Staying in the shotgun, though, as you pointed out. I think the Rams are confident in their offense and going to continue to air the ball out here no matter where they are on the field.
They're able to get him down. Gets back to what looks like the original line of scrimmage.
Brings him to third down. Looks like we have an injured Ram.
And that'll stop the clock with just about a minute and 13 seconds here in the third quarter. And it looks, the coach for Central Catholic, Steve Pine, is hot with the refs here. He is upset about something.
I think it's definitely been a physical game all night, and tensions are flying through both teams. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was some a late hit in there or something like that, where the coach will definitely be upset about it. But
you like to see that. You see the player get up and just jog off, so that's always a good, positive sign. All right, so a big moment here for the Crusader defense here.
3rd and 13. Looks like there's not a large receiver set here for the Rams.
I mean, if you're the Rams, you do not want an interception here because it is likely to be back into the end zone. So
2 to the left, 1 to the right, with a tight end on the right side. See if the Rams do their little button route here. Airing it out.
Oh, and they call the pass interference on the Crusaders there, where Elias Johnson did not turn to look for the ball and just kind of ran the Rams player out of bounds.
It's been a common theme tonight, this idea of pass interference and how close you can get to the guy and really make contact
but
with
I
him
think
without
it's
it being
still
a call.
not a first down, Kenny, so I think it brings up 3rd and a shorter yardage here. So I think it's did he?
They're moving the chains.
Okay, so it gets 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, that's a crucial penalty in this time of the game. It's like Central's running their twins offense here. 2 receivers to the left.
And they set up a little screen. And that's a big first down play for the Rams, and they now have a little breathing room here as they get the ball out to their 36-yard line. And the clock stops as the chains move.
Roughly 30 seconds here in the third quarter. See if the Rams decide to hold it or get one more play in before the quarter ends. Looks like they're going to go for one more.
And that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. When we come back, there will be 2nd and 5 for the Rams.
Looks like we have an interview coming into the track by our sideline reporter, Anna Consato. Anna, let's kick it over to you.
Looks like Landon Langeson.
A huge role in the football team. So can you tell me a little bit about your role and like how it's going?
So the football team, we've been working on improving so far. Mostly what I do is just help the boys get their water, get their Gatorade, make sure they don't have cramps, stretch them out if they need it.
Okay.
Yeah, we run the ball at practice, and it's not just me, it's teammates like Patrick Darby, Bobby McMillan, Grady, Joe Stimson right now. There's a lot more. It's really a whole team effort.
Okay, that's awesome. And can you tell me a little bit about how your role as senior class president as well as like team manager, how's that going? Being in like the two sides of things?
Yeah. You know, it's fun work. Really, right now I'm focusing on you, the seniors. But I'm just trying to do whatever I can, get involved here to make everyone's year here at Jesuit the best it can be.
Okay, a little unique question for you. If you could describe the team's chemistry or just the team as a whole in 3 words, what would they be?
Motivated, improving, up and coming.
Okay, thank you so much, Landon. That's it for us. Back to you, Kenny.
Back here up in the booth with the start of the fourth quarter, and the Rams facing a 2nd and 5 here at their 47-yard line. Crusaders looking to make another stop. He hands it off to Davis again.
Almost a first down. I think this is a crucial drive for the Crusaders. If they can get a stop here, march down the field on offense, I think we still have a game here.
So 3rd down and call it 2. And the refs conferring about something here.
It's like Liam Cassidy's checking back into the game. Definitely a force on the defensive line and really a leader, being one of the older ones on both the offensive and defensive line. And he's definitely made some plays tonight, coming up with some key sacks on Crew Newman and creating some large holes for Lonnie Bird on the offensive side.
Yeah, I mean, that senior leadership, can't be talked about enough. I mean, Liam has played a great game in on almost every tackle, even pursuing out to the sidelines on some of those runs.
Yeah, and I think it was a quick change for him. He went from the only junior on an all-senior offensive line to the only senior on not the only senior, excuse me, but really just assuming that leadership position from being the little one last year. So
and
props to him.
He's been getting a lot of snaps since he was a sophomore.
Oh, yeah. He even made some appearances freshman year, which is rare at Jesuit with our freshman football rosters. It's rare to come on to varsity, but we've had some rare appearances, and one of those have been Liam Cassidy.
So I think what happened here, Kenny, is when they at the quarter they set the chains up wrong, and
that's what it's looking like.
And they are giving the Rams a first down on that last carry, and so instead of 3rd and short yardage, it's going to be a first down, and I guess that's a good call by the the Rams coaching staff, who noticed that the change did not move on that. So the Rams end up with a first down here. And that's just us, no indication from the refs other than the change just moved. Crew Newman.
Looked like the Rams jumped.
A little slant across the middle. And no flag. There definitely looked like movement there. And I think Coach Ken Potter's having that conversation with the side judge.
I
think Coach Potter's been in this biz for way too long, and almost 40 years now, that he's got eyes of a hawk. He can see all these fouls even before the refs see them. So he's definitely given the ref what he saw. Make sure it doesn't happen again.
And again, a little bit of movement before. And Liam Cassidy quick off the line. And they're just going to call that dead there as the forward movement stopped by the Crusader running back. And that's going to, again, set up where we started the quarter at roughly about a 3rd and 5. Another opportunity here for the Crusaders, force a 4th down.
I don't think we've seen the Central Catholic punt team once this game. I think 4th down for them is just another chance to move the chains, really.
And they got trips right here. Newman holds the ball, but the Crusaders right there on the
Liam Cassidy again making an impact this game.
Quarterback option, and he loses a good 10 yards, and they're going to have to punt, Kenny.
This could be the first punt. That's a tough conversion, so I'm not surprised they're bringing the punt unit out.
And this is Sam Schuver here, the Central Catholic punter. Is that, I think that's is that Elias Johnson back deep for the Crusaders?
It is. Usually we see Grand Valley in that position. I wonder what caused the change. Short punt here from Central.
We just don't want to make sure it doesn't hit a Crusader there. And Elias Johnson wisely moves away from the ball. And the Crusaders will have it on their own 15-yard line.
with 9 minutes, 9 seconds remaining in this ball game.
You know, if you're the Crusaders, Kenny, here you're down 3 scores, 9 minutes left. It is early in the season, so I think they're looking to maybe get better here.
Yeah, I think not only get better, but I think they shouldn't be afraid to take a shot here. I think they've played enough football this game to see how Central plays their defense, and with the right adjustments, I think they can make a big play this drive.
First and 10 Crusaders on the 115-yard line.
Go in that power I formation.
Took a pitch to Lonnie.
Gain of a few yards there by Burt. Hasn't really had that, hasn't broken a tackle yet like we might have hoped here. He's grinding out a lot of yards, but
I think the Rams have a great containment strategy on him and make sure to tackle him low so they don't face the wrath of his powerful trucks. So props to the Rams on that side.
same I formation, handoff to. A lot of push there on the line, and it's going. He's going to get a first down.
Lonnie Burt on the carry.
And they're
maybe a little short, if not a first
no,
down.
it looks
They're
like the
moving
chain. They're
chains.
moving the chains. I think.
There's the team effort we've been looking for.
And I think the Jesuit offensive line is trying to make a statement here in the fourth quarter. Maybe if when you look at a game like this, you're looking like, what are the small wins? Maybe the line finding an identity here in game 2.
I think so. The freshness of 4 of those 5 linemen are almost unheard of when it comes to varsity football. So definitely an impressive improvement from them tonight from the first game, and I'm excited to see where they go for the rest of the season. And
good read there by trainer Cleveland. Saw that Maida Eilers was uncovered. So kind of a breakdown by the Rams secondary there, and that's another first down for the Crusaders. With the ball out to about the 40-yard line. You saw Cleveland come up, and he saw that there was no one on it. He just quickly called for the snap. Smart thinking by the young quarterback.
Yeah, it's a great eye. Not seen very often from a young quarterback like that, as you said, but he's definitely something special, and I'm excited to see what he does this year and his senior year.
And the Crusaders are moving the ball here with just under 8 minutes here in the fourth quarter to go. Cleveland's going to scramble. Finds Elias Johnson open in the middle of the field, and the Crusaders have a 20-yard gain, and they are in Ram territory here.
Number 2, Elias Johnson, gain on the play, good for a first down. We have an injured Ram on the field.
Great sportsmanship here shown from the Rams. From what I've noticed through most of the game, always helping up Jesuit players and making sure the quarterback's okay when he's sacked. Just great sportsmanship.
First down, the Ram 40-yard line. Injured Ram, number 17. How about a round of applause, Patrick Phelps, number 17.
And the Crusaders here come up to the line. Cleveland in the shotgun formation with Burt to his left. Trips right. Then he finds Grant Valley.
Crusaders are marching. Another great find from trainer Cleveland in the middle of the field to find one of his favorite wide receiver targets, Grant Valley.
And that'll stop the clock as the chains move, as the Crusaders kind of try to play a little bit quicker here.
Grant Valley, a receiving end of Cleveland's pass.
And Cleveland's going to keep it. He's not going to find much there on the right side, and that's he's going to lose about 3 yards there. Make it at 2nd and 13 for the Crusaders.
We are in Caden Butcher range. You can see him warming up there on the sideline. Wonder if Jesuit will up for a kick here if we get to 4th down.
And Jace Burton is coming back on the field, which is a good sign for the Crusaders.
Went out in the 3rd quarter with seemed to be a tough cramp, but happy to see him back on the field, ready to make plays again.
Crusaders in the shotgun formation. Burt on his left. Little motion from Valley here.
Cleveland looking deep.
Ooh.
Just a little bit behind him. Tough catch.
He did have him open, but I think he wasn't expecting to see him so open and just maybe force that throw a little bit.
3rd down and 13.
It's 3rd and 13 here for the Crusaders. I think we're definitely in 4-down territory.
This could be the screen pass we've seen so many times on 3rd and long.
And the Crusaders are going to take a timeout here as the play clock.
Timeout on the field, timeout taken.
Now, Mr. Powers, we have our exciting couple weeks at Jesuit ahead. We have our first all-school mass coming up, which is always an exciting time for the students.
One of my favorite days of the year, Kenny.
It is.
You know, making sure everybody's in dress code.
Oh, yeah. First dress-up day of the year. Me, personally, I love putting a coat and tie on, so I'm excited. We also have our senior pilgrimage coming up next weekend, which is always an exciting time for the seniors to bond.
And I hope the weather stays just like this. You know,
it would be perfect.
75 degrees during the day, a little cooler at night. And the Crusaders are up to the line quickly here. Cleveland airs it out. Oh, it is going to be intercepted. And they're going to run it out of the end zone.
Looked like a little bit of mutual contact in the end zone from both the corner and the receiver. Refs decide that there's no call there.
And that's going to be James Wade III there making the pick.
And if you didn't think the Rams had the momentum before, now they do.
You know, kind of looking at a little bit of the silver linings here, Kenny. We're about 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. The Crusaders have not given up a touchdown, nor have they scored a touchdown, but have played them even in this half.
I know we preached about it a lot before halftime, but I think the biggest difference is the tackling. Coming out of the second half, the Crusaders were able to wrap up Crew Newman, which was huge for them, and really just the running back too, right at the line of scrimmage. So I think that's been a big difference maker thus far.
That's a 1st down run for the Rams, picking about 6 or 7 there. Another Crusader down with leg cramps. And that does not feel good, Kenny.
Oh, it does not. You always think you can fix it quickly by straightening your leg out. It just gets worse.
I think the only thing you do is just try to walk on it.
Just gut it
that's
out.
That's what the trainer's trying to do, just get him to walk it off, get a little...
When you play this much football, those cramps are always tough at the end of the game. But happy to see he's walking on it.
Usually those calves that are taking the beating. Brings up a 2nd and 2 for the Rams. There's a flag on the play.
On the carry for the Rams, number 22, Kenny Sunday, we have a penalty on the play.
And I think the Rams fans felt that maybe the running back was down, but he was moving, and it's kind of a tough call.
It's always a tough call, yeah.
Particularly with how many times they've broken tackles.
Exactly.
So 2nd and 7 where it was...
Pushes the Rams back a little bit. 2nd and 2 to 2nd and 7. That is a good change for the Crusaders. Let's see if Newman decides to air it out.
Ooh, a nice play by Matt Eilers again. Just jumping the route there.
Matt Eilers, another great two-way threat for the Crusaders, scoring our lone touchdown of the game and also making plays on the defensive side of the ball.
Brings up a 3rd and 8 for the Rams, and I would think they would not go for it on 4th down.
I would have to agree on that.
So
I think the lead's too crucial to them, and they go for it and lose it. Next thing you know, the Crusaders are on the opposing 10-yard line.
Oh, but they crew Newman once again with a big 1st down. Finding the open receiver, number 11, Palmer Davison there. And the clock ticks down to just about 4 minutes.
Now, if you're Central Catholic, you think you're pushing for another score here to make a statement on the opponent's own field, or are you?
You know, Central doesn't get to play against a lot of good teams in the Mount Hood Conference. They're getting to play against a good Crusader team. They're going to take every opportunity to kind of test and prod. And
definitely one of the more challenging defenses they'll see this year.
Yeah, so they're just going to try to get better. So I imagine they're going to keep using the playbook and testing things out here. And they run straight up the middle, and they're also going to get looks like they're giving some other of their talented running backs opportunities here with the ball.
Looks like Jace Burton's checking back in.
2 on the carry.
Brings it to 2nd and 7. Crusaders were sending a lot of blitzes early in this quarter, but it seems they've laid off a little bit, turning to more of a cover defense.
Yeah, and the shotgun, and again handing off to number 2, Kate Galen. Picking up 2 or 3. Bringing up a 3rd and 7 here for the Rams.
It's a 3rd down and 7.
Third and 7 for the Rams. Coming out in a large receiver set with the tight end. Most likely airing the ball out here.
Newman back.
Another great defensive play by Jesuit.
And the Jesuit secondary is giving Newman fits. I mean, he has a lot of the kind of the big plays for Newman today have been on broken plays. You know, when it was kind of drop back pass, the secondary has kind of done their job here, and they're getting the Rams off the field with 2 minutes left. And you wonder if the Crusaders take this opportunity to maybe run their 2-minute offense here, play a little hurry up and see if they can get a score here.
Yeah, I think looking at the bright side of the game for the Crusaders, I think just looking at this game alone, seen a lot of improvement on both sides of the ball, and I think even though it's going to be a loss for the Crusaders tonight, I think they can still be proud of themselves by facing a tough Central Catholic team and really improving on the little things they needed to work on, and hope they can transfer that into next week's game.
All right, so the Crusaders come back on the field with 1 minute and 51 seconds left, and you know, at this point you're again, Kenny, looking to get better. Little victories here. Can they get a touchdown here, move the ball down the field, you know, build on something for this season? I mean, when you think about it, we're 28-6, and we look back on some of those scores, really those, you know, we were 14-6 with about 2 minutes left in the first half, and we had 2 scores in 2 minutes.
That punt return really was the dagger into Jesuits' hearts, and
you know, that, you know, what can you learn from a loss? You know, again, limited mistakes, right?
And I think if we could have translated that first drive into even every other drive tonight, I think it'd be a lot closer game than it is. But unfortunately, that's just not how the dice rolled.
The Crusaders have thrown the ball more tonight than we have seen in the past few years, and you know, trainer Cleland seems to have taken over this quarterback position for the Crusaders going forward. You know, showing some leadership here, making some plays, moving the ball for the Crusaders.
I think Jesuit's been known across the state as a run-heavy offense, but I think with this modern era of football of passing the ball and stuff like that, I think they've adapted, and it's been good for them. I think they've become a more dynamic offense by it.
There's that throw to Matt Eilers, getting wrapped up just short of the, well, looks like the ref is going to give him forward progress, and that is going to be a first down for the Crusaders, and that'll stop the clock as they move the chains and see if the Crusaders will play a little bit quicker.
Yeah, it's tough to advance the ball when you got 5 Rams on your back there. I think it's good the ref gave him forward progress.
Crusaders quickly up to the line, and Cleveland in the shotgun with
looks like the Rams are bringing the heat. Looks like the ref's going to throw a flag here for roughing the passer. Looked a little bit
they were
late.
coming in hot, and Cleveland had got up a little bit, or no, that's Grant Valley, or
Cleveland.
Cleveland coming over, yeah.
It's been a long game for Cleveland. A lot of pressure, a lot of running, and got tackled a lot tonight. So I applaud the valiant effort from him, but I think starting to get a little bit tired. But looks like he's staying out there. He's a trooper. Great advancement there, though, for Jesuit because of the roughing the passer call. Gets them past their own territory and onto the Ram 40-yard line. Just over a minute here. Rams continuing to bring pressure.
Cleveland airs it out there to Elias Johnson.
Ooh, just underthrown. Elias Johnson once again dealing with double coverage. The Rams are aware of his talent, and they are proving it by putting 2 men on him. Great ball from trainer Cleveland, though. Just
showing some of that arm strength there. Throwing it 40 yards.
Jacob Hutchinson back in as a slot receiver for the Crusaders. Just under a minute here. 3rd and 10.
Ooh. Had Grant Valley open there in the middle of the field, but just
More
missed
pressure.
him. Yeah, that pressure came quick, and he just missed him wide there.
Cleveland just keeps ending the play on the ground, and that'll take a toll on you eventually.
And I think we should take this opportunity to thank our crew, Kenny,
Yes.
for tonight. We had Ashley Hager as our producer. Mr. Dan Faulkner, your advanced media studies, kind of pulling together this crew, and all the camera folks, our sideline reporter Anna Casado. This is always a big production to put on a football game, and we just want to thank everybody who's helped make that happen. Crusaders getting another first down here.
There's that screen pass we've all been waiting to work, and it finally sets up for Julius Christensen and able to gain about 13 on the play.
And Trainer Cleveland just trying to call the play here from the line of scrimmage, which is not something the Crusaders do, but it's good practice.
It's like a good slant play. Just through the hands of Grant Valley.
That does stop the clock for the Crusaders, making it 2nd and 10.
Just over 30 seconds here left in the final quarter of the game. Crusaders are looking for one last chance, mainly for pride here. Maybe try some new offensive sets, really test the waters with a talented Central Catholic defense.
And with 31 seconds, the Crusaders have maybe time for 3 more plays to go towards the end zone. And
Good
Cleveland
pass.
throws it there, and
Matt Eilers.
Matt Eilers. Couldn't get the number there. That's going to stop the clock for the Chains, but it'll quickly start again. It looks like the Crusaders are going to call a timeout.
Eilers has had himself a great game tonight. Taking the touchdown early in the first quarter and really contributing on defense in every quarter, really. A couple key pass breakups in some key scenarios for the Rams and really made his presence known tonight.
And again, this Crusader team has held the Rams scoreless this half, and they will. And again, we call it a moral victory or small victories of the game and things to build on, but definitely has a different feel than the loss last week.
Yeah, I think the Crusaders grew as the game went, and I think they should still be applauded for their improvement and how they can channel this new feeling into the next week of play. And with a tough Central Catholic team this early in the year, it's definitely eye-opening, but I look forward to hopefully seeing the Crusaders face the Rams again in the playoffs as they did last year.
All right, and the Crusaders have a new set of downs here with 22 seconds and continue to operate out of the shotgun with trips left here. Little motion from Valley. Cleveland just trying to elude the rush, gets it off, but
with pressure, that's a tough pass. He had a guy on his ankles as he threw that. Surprised he even got it off. Looks like the Crusaders will have time for maybe 2 or 3 more plays.
And the Rams fans begin to celebrate over here. I mean, Kenny, this has been a good high school football game.
It has.
Well fought by both teams. You tip your hat to the Rams coming out on the road. Playing in Cronin Field is not easy. And they did what they needed to do here to get the W.
Yeah, the Rams have definitely proven themselves as one of the best talents in Oregon.
Ooh, and right through the hands there of the Central Catholic player, number 27, James Wade there. I think he's wish he had that one back.
Down and 10. For the Crusaders.
It's always cool to say you got to pick against the rare passing Jesuit Crusaders. But this year, they're proving that stereotype to be pretty wrong. As I mentioned before, mainly a run-heavy offense before this year, but Coach Potter's adapted some new plays, probably took some suggestions from players, and for the most part, it's paid off, adding some dynamic ability to the offense, adding passing in with running.
Crusaders hoping to punch one in here.
It's like a little.
Ooh, it looks like there was a little hold there, but no call. Elias Johnson, there's
the unsportsmanlike conduct, it looks like.
And is that going to be on the Crusaders or the Rams?
As a Central Catholic player, that's the last thing you want. 6 seconds left in the game.
And that is going to go against the Rams, and that will move the ball. It'll be enough for a first down for the Crusaders with 6 seconds left.
Possibly one more chance here for the Crusaders to even this game to 2 scores.
Oh, maybe not first down, so we're... This will be the last play of the game, I would imagine. 6 seconds left, depending how quickly Trainer Cleveland gets the ball out.
It's like Twins offense here. To the left, to the right. Trainer to the end zone.
Ooh, and 1 second left. The Crusaders will turn the ball over on downs.
I suspect Central Catholic will just take the victory formation here, and Crew Newman will take a knee. And seal up a great win from the Rams against the Crusaders.
And I want to definitely point out a shout out to our Jesuits' new athletic director and assistant athletic director, Colin Griffin and Felicia Wright, who, managing a game like this, managing a crowd, all the people, the booster club, it is not an easy thing here to do, and it was done very well and seamlessly, and so we want to make sure that does not go unnoticed. And obviously Colin worked under longtime athletic director Mike Hughes, and we want to thank him for all his service to Jesuit High School and Jesuit athletics as the Central Catholic Rams take a knee and they go to 2-0, and the Crusaders go to 0-2. And Kenny, as we were talking about, not the victory that Jesuit had hoped for, but they got better.
I agree. And that 0-2 record might look rough, but growing up, I had a coach that said it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I think Jesuit definitely has the ability to turn this around and end their year on a positive note. So I'm excited to see how the Crusaders adjust for next week, and see how they adjust and see if they can come out on top next week.
Yeah, and as we said, it would not surprise me, Kenny, if these two teams meet later in the season. The Rams go back to a conference that doesn't always give them a challenge during the year. Like, they get their challenge here in this preseason. Crusaders are starting off with one of the most challenging kind of preseason schedules. Sure. Skyview, Central Catholic, Westland next week. So it's a tough opening games here for the Crusaders, but they did get better tonight. We saw some positives from Trainer Cleveland here. Matt Eilers, kind of a
big game for Matt Eilers.
Matt Eilers had a nice game. The defense in the second half.
Oh yeah.
All kind of opportunities for the Jesuit coaches to work with these players to get better for next week. When we look ahead here, JCTV football will be back in 2 weeks for the next home game. We encourage you to check our listings. We will be broadcasting some volleyball and soccer games here in the coming weeks. And Kenny, I just want to say it's been a pleasure working with you tonight.
It's been really fun, yeah.
Yeah, and I hope you come back and we'll get to work together again. And again, I want to thank the whole JCTV crew, and we're going to sign off here from Cronin Field. And again, the score here, 28 for Central Catholic, 6 for Jesuit High School. And good night, Crusader fans.